don't know how much hard work you put in. But when it comes time to battle, you must think about each and every day that you put that hard work in.
What happened? Why don't you play anymore?
Brian Banks was 16 years old when he was accused of a crime he did not commit.
Hey, good afternoon, brother L.A.R. L.A.R. Come back in. I don't know what. Sorry about that, Bella. Brother L.A.R. L.A.R. Come back in. Please come back in. It always happens. So, like this. So, sorry about that for the inconvenience. Come back in, brother L.A.R. I send the link again so we can get it going. Sorry for the inconvenience. So, I'm gonna send the link to him again. So we're gonna wait for the brother to come back. Side to side, very excited to do this live, do this chop up with him. So again, sorry for the inconvenience. Sorry for the inconvenience. This is I'm chopping it up with a brother L.A.R. He has been part of the space for a minute. We'll wait to till he get it back and so we can get this going. Or if you cannot get, or brother, if you cannot get on a panel on there, let me know, and I probably put the link in the chat, so you probably can get on there. So we waiting for the brother to come back. Okay, hold on.
Can you hear me?
Talk.
Yeah.
Cause I don't think.
Can you hear me right now? Let me see. Can you hear me loud and clear or what?
Hold on. I don't know what's going. Hold on.
Let's see. Tell me if you can hear me now.
Hold on. Let me see something.
Okay.
What's going on, Brian? Welcome. If you can hear me, press 1, Brian. If you can hear me, press 1. Okay. Let's see something. Cause I might have to go change another. Let's see. Hold on.
Okay.
Yeah, I know, but I'm trying to get it from my end because my end is the you can hear me, right, brother?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't hear him. That's what I'm trying to get this, trying to fix this. So
Let me see.
yeah,
Yeah, you got it.
yeah. You can hear me, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, I don't know what I did, but it's there. I don't know, but bro, listen. I'm out of town, so I'm at my woman's house, and it's like the second time that I sat at her desk, and she helped me set it up this morning and all like that. And then every time I try to get on, it is when I come on, I don't know what's going on. I said, when you get home, you got to fix this yourself.
It's different place, man. Different place.
Yeah, different place. But before we continue, brother, we can say we know each other for a minute,
Yeah.
and I just want to let you know that I'm one of the few brothers that respect what you're doing. And I know whatever, and I could say this, it ain't had it made no dude, oh yeah, you a punk. But whatever that brother here, he always encouraged me to keep on pushing. And I really appreciate that. And I really appreciate that you understand what I'm trying to do. And I really appreciate that. So this one of the few brothers, besides Big Duke and a few others,
Shout
that
out.
I ride for. That I ride for. And I don't ride for a lot. No, I don't. But he always stand on it, and he always there's some people take it like, oh, he trying to tell us what to do. He just want us brothers, especially us black men, to be better. And I wish that the people in this talking about brothers in this space will understand that. And I want to salute you to that. And I just want to let you know it's an honor to Rig, because I'm trying to get you for a long time to do this chop up. But I know you're busy, man. But you know you here, and that's why I asked you where you from, because you know I just want to make sure that make feel home. So I got the where I'm at. So I got Chicago at top. I mean New Orleans and Chicago at the bottom. So you know I'm trying to make sure that you home. You know what I mean? I'm trying to cover.
Yeah, I take it. I will take it. You know what I'm saying? Po' boys and pizza puffs. I was born in New Orleans, so I grew up. Let me see how can the easiest way to do this is I graduated high school when I was 17.
Okay.
And I went to college in Baton Rouge. Then and I went from Baton Rouge to Houston in college. So prior to that, I spent 8 years in New Orleans, 8 years in Chicago, and a year in DC.
DC.
So, yeah. So my upbringing was kind of, and it wasn't. It was one of those things where it was here, 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 here. It was like it didn't get consistent until like maybe the 5th grade.
Wow.
You know? So that's my upbringing.
Got you. Well, before we continue, let me get these announcements out the way. I hope you got some questions for me. You ask about me now, because this is interaction.
I got a question that we got
Oh,
something.
hold that. Let me get these announcements out the way. Welcome to my channel, Underrated. Welcome to my channel, Underrated Darkness. Yours truly, the number one grinder. Thank y'all so much for putting the ones who day ones, and I consider this brother's part of the family. The day ones and the ones along the way. Thank you for rolling with me throughout the years. Let's keep on fighting for the truth and stand for the truth. Thank you. It wasn't for y'all, I would not still be here. Also, shout out to No Duck Zone podcast, brother Clarence McLean and his significant one Tiffany. Shout out to them. Keep up the fine work. Shout out to hashtag TWT family, brother Gab, brother G5 and his significant one. Sister Kukui has started this movement. Thank y'all so much for being part of the family. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. That's for Lions Den Boxing Community. Also, shout out to the General. Thank y'all. He the one had that up, and the one had brought me in years ago, brother. Town Biz from Cali. I want to thank you to introduce me, and I've been rolling with the LDBC ever since. So thank y'all for the brothers and sisters out there, and the other ones. Thank y'all so much and everything. And this is gonna be classic. I'm letting y'all right now. Like I said before the brother would ask me a question. I don't vouch for any men, but I vouch for that brother. And I appreciate the work that he done in the space and even outside the space. And hopefully what we get from it, especially as a family, but especially us as men, there are even men out here that are willing to stand for the truth no matter what. No matter what obstacles it is, no matter what time it is. Now, floor is yours. I got some questions, but you can ask me a question.
I'm gonna start out keeping it light. I mean, so so how's your hope for the Jets going?
I'm a New Yorker. I'm
a Jets fan, actually. So don't get it too. Like, it's only 3 teams I like watching. It's the Saints, the Jets, and the Eagles. That's the only 3 teams I like watching. Yeah.
You got to come to my channel more then. And do
How
other
you think
stuff.
I knew that question?
I know. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Well, there's people said I should have a wishful thinking, but and I know 3-8 ain't getting you to the playoffs. It's got to be a lot of drastic things has to happen. Buffalo had to lose about 7-8 games. You got other conferences have to lose. It's impossible. Then we find out Joe Douglas got fired yesterday. I did a live on that. So for me, I still go ride with the Jets. Like I said, I'm in New York. So I ride with them, but I gotta be honest here. I'm starting talking about the Knicks.
It's been a long time since you was able to do that.
Right.
Hey, man. I ain't not as a person that's a fan, I could just say this honestly. They blew it.
Yeah.
They just blew it. The defense got soft.
Yeah.
The offense is all over the place, honestly, because Aaron Rodgers decided to show up at the beginning of the season. Oh no. Okay. That was my computer. I don't know what just happened. Aaron Rodgers decided to show up when he felt like it. And everybody became overrated. So now it's like, hey man, you get what you get.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so thanks for the question. There's gonna be more questions. Now, the question I want to ask you, is any your parents still living?
Both.
Great, 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 great. Any siblings?
Yeah, 2 brothers.
Great, great, great. Now, I noticed that you have a son, right?
Yeah, 18.
18, right? And I noticed that I told my at times you talk about the relationship with you and your son and other factors. I'm not gonna bring to it. That's up to
It's all
you.
good. Like I'm
No, no, no.
trust.
I want to give you that respect, brother,
Yeah,
brother.
yeah. No,
I want to let.
let me back up. One of the reasons I do YouTube and I've done YouTube um is to just shed light to things that happen in life. It ain't
Mhm.
necessarily about me. You get what I'm saying? I have a lot
Gotcha.
of different experiences, so I can talk about the good and the bad, and I don't have a problem with it. But other people go through stuff and they don't know that other people went through it. That was kind of my introduction to YouTube, watching guys talk about what's going on in their lives.
Mhm.
And it's like, oh, okay. So I ain't the only one. You get what I'm saying? So that's why I do what I do in a sense.
Right, cool. Okay, so I know you talk about your son and your and what certain things you had to deal with as a father, and the inconvenience that you had to deal with. And I want to ask, maybe it's not, maybe it's a continuing question that I want to ask that.
Just ask it. It's all good.
Okay, for me, it's that I'm just saying for me is I appreciate that you shared that because along the way it helped me in a long way. And why men in this space are not taking on what is you talking about to actually help them, but they doing contrary.
Hmm.
And they feel that, oh, I don't get the information, but you have the information here. Can you explain that, please? To me, I don't get it, but I'm just.
Hmm. I would say people like entertainment. And don't get it twisted. Like if I really just wanted to climb, I really I ain't gonna say dumb myself down, but I can say dumb myself down because I'm a real heavy trash talker in day-to-day
Mhm.
life. It's just I don't do it on YouTube. I,
Right.
I I don't do it on YouTube. That's just my thing. Like I don't do it on YouTube. So because I don't, it's not as entertaining. And I did it for a purpose because I didn't want my son running across some of this stuff and be like, "Oh, yo, he wow," you know, because I'm a trash talker with him. He just don't necessarily like it. Um, so it becomes one of those things where I know guys need entertainment, and I know guys gravitate to entertainment over actual information. So I'm more like, if you having an issue and you're looking for content to help you with your issue on YouTube and you could never find it, I think you're a liar. I think you just you don't want it, or you don't want to listen to it. Because sometimes it could be entertaining and sometimes it could just be, blah. But if you want the
Yeah.
info, go for the info. All you got to do is type it in.
Right. Got it. Now, like I said, you can ask me any questions you want. Please,
Oh, I'm
please
gonna
do.
I'm gonna start out keeping it light. I'm gonna
I want a
start.
heavy too.
No,
I
no,
want a
no,
heavy
no, not,
too.
not yet, not yet, not yet. Because even with the LDBC, right? So I had a boxing podcast for years while I was on YouTube. And the
Mhm.
reason why I say I'm starting to start out light because this stuff gets into serious stuff too.
It is, yeah. I agree with that.
Do you look at the current state of boxing itself?
Look at it.
That's soft.
Yes. Entertainment.
The reason I'm asking this, for another reason. If the entertainment got soft, if the sports got soft, What do you think? What you think happened to the people?
Soft. They don't want to engage. I feel like that if you don't want to engage in a conversation, I'm glad that you asked that, because I do touch on that when I do the box sector of my channel, the underrated boxing talk. And I'm glad that you asked that, because for me, you still got people talk about boxing, right? It's well and good, but they talk about the same people. They don't talk about the undercards. They don't talk about the depth in it. They don't talk about the science. I'm not. Listen, I mean that. And again, I'm gonna go back to my brother L.A.R. He told me this a long time ago. Maybe you don't remember. He said, "Brother, you need to toot your own horn something, because you know things, but you need to talk more about it." And so I'm going by what L.A.R. had told me years ago. I know boxing. I watched boxing when I was young. I was very young, and so when I tell people, "Oh, you know," that's what at times when I talk about boxing, I'm talking about old school boxing, because that's when it was at. It was no ducking. You got people want to duck. It's all about the money. I'm not saying ain't nothing wrong feeding your families. I'm not saying nothing wrong, but it's ducking. People talk about the same boxing all the time. I remember Brother Clarence McLean, he was talking about it. Shout out to No Duck Zone podcast. He talked about it. And I told him, for me personally, it's like, it's not entertaining. To me, when I want to talk about boxing, it's like, what's the sense?
So
There's no urgency.
Like, and I say this, the reason why I kept it light, because sports for me is sometimes an imitation of life. Mm-hmm. And people look at athletes as like our modern day heroes, right? Mm-hmm. And if our heroes are suspect, the people in society who are suspect, because they're supposed, like, whether it's sports or even politics, if people are supposed to represent the best of us in society, and we look at them, we go, nah, that ain't it. Then, that should trickle down to the rest of us. And the reason why I was saying in the boxing sense is because people don't have their eyes. And what I mean in the boxing sense is, as far as life too. If you fight enough, if you take a break from fighting, your eyes need a moment to catch up, because your eyes aren't, you're not used to slipping anymore as sharp as you were. You ain't used to catching punches as sharp as you were. You ain't used to rolling and seeing things coming and being able to step back as sharp as you were. You need a second to get your eyes in order, and then and then your fighting gets better and better and better. I look at us as a people and go, a lot of us don't have our eyes because we scared to fight in the first place. Ooh. Because to get your eyes, you might have to get smacked up a few times. So you're gonna have to engage. You can't stay on the outside out of somebody's reach and actually land a punch. You can't do it. You got to get in that middle range where you can land one and you can get hit with one to actually see. And and that's a part of us as a people in America. Like, we just, like, the same thing with, like, you talking about the parenting thing, and that's why I said it's society soft, because I don't think people are willing to engage. So I don't believe half of the stuff that people are saying now, because I don't think they have enough experience to talk. And that's just a personal opinion of what I see. And sometimes when you're on YouTube, you see it, you be like, man, I hear what they saying. I hear what they saying, but is that real? You get what I'm saying? Yeah.
I got another question, but I want to add on what you're saying, because again, that's how I feel sometimes. I do. Sometimes I'm talking about person. Now I'm glad I'm talking to you, brother, because me and Big Dude, we talk about this sometimes. Sometimes he said, bro, you got, I said, I don't want to engage. Sometimes I look, I see YouTube and I see social media. I don't even want to do a live. I don't even want to do a short. For what? I say, what? I mean, what's sense with me giving out? I mean, I'm not just saying giving out, just defreeze in the building. What's going on? I said, see, to me, why I should give out gems to people. They just want entertainment. They fail to understand that you got to go through things to make it right. That's I always say, I'm not afraid of the system. For what? What else you could do to me? What else you could do to me? And so for us as a people, and go more to your point, are you willing to stand against the people in this system that cause destruction of all levels? Are you willing to stand up against it and fight? Are you willing, especially us as black men, are you willing to, I don't care what status that you're in, are you willing to stand up and save another black man that want to fight for righteousness and stand against unrighteousness, wherever it takes? And this, I'm going to fall back to the space. I see nothing but clowns for years.
So,
and these people want to accept clowns.
And I was going to talk about this on another time. So if people don't know, like, I've been in the black manosphere probably since the inception. So a lot of that stuff that people talk about, the relationship stuff and sometimes the political stuff, I've been there all the whole time. You know, whether it's in the mix or outside of the mix or around them, I've been there the whole time. What I see now, and I talked about this prior.
Right.
There are a lot of guys who, and I'm gonna just say, looked at the black manosphere with disdain and with fear. And some guys were on point and some guys were extreme, right? So I can say that for sure. But a lot of what guys were talking about was on point. But the problem was this: there were guys who were never in the black manosphere who looked at it as an opportunity to make money. So what they decided to do was, hey man, I'm gonna say I don't mess with them guys, but I'm gonna do exactly everything. I'm gonna say exactly everything they say and act like I'm gonna do exactly everything they do, and I'm gonna get paid. And people gravitate to that. And that's not that's just our, that's just our society. That's what that is. That's just our society, because people like to be lied to. And there's a lot of dishonesty in the idea that if you like to be entertained, don't ask for nothing that might have substance, because that's not what you're looking for. And what I mean in that aspect is, I can run off name after name after name after name if I want to, of people who are in and people who are out, right? But at the end of the day, let's just be honest about what we see but the difference between social media and life. In social media, the loudest, sometimes most ignorant, or sometimes the fakest person is what people gravitate to. And the reason why is because, and I used to tell my homeboys this, I mean, people see themselves in these people. I said, you can't live in a society. I laugh by saying it this way. You don't know how many people in America they're not Dallas Cowboy fans, but they act like Dallas Cowboy fans. They lie to themselves every day. So where we're at now is just like, hey man, I hate to say this, but for me it seems so true.
Say it.
A lot of people just regurgitating other people's talking points, and they ain't outside living. And I can hear it in their voice. So but the thing about it is, if you say it, and I'm not gonna say people are incels, because me, I'm a homebody. You know what I'm saying? I'm a homebody, but I have no problem being like, you gotta understand, like, just like me and my wife went to this, we went to Baton Rouge and Austin in like a 2-3 day period, right?
Right.
I'm tired in the mug from that, and that just happened. But I'm the type of person that I'm on the move. Whether I'm working, whether I'm working out, whether I'm doing something, I stay on the move. And my life experience comes from being on the move. So I can hear it in somebody's voice when they got a dead tone to them. And it's like, oh, you don't actually, that's not you. But I realize in our society, a lot of people just stay at home and don't get involved. I was clowning with a guy at work yesterday, and I said, listen, man, I've told a friend of mine, a younger friend of mine, I was like, look, I'm a latchkey kid. Y'all are AC kids. It's a difference. I was out in the world young. Y'all was in the house the whole time, and y'all still in the house to this day. So when it comes to these a lot of those type of conversations, it ain't just relationship, it's just interacting with people in life. A lot of people don't have the experiences that in my opinion you should have at 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. They just don't have it.
Right.
And it's like, bro, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I could lie to you. I really could.
Right.
It's profitable to lie to you, but
right.
I just don't want to, I don't want to waste my time with that. I don't even want to entertain people.
Got you. Another question. We know each other for years. What do you think about the content that I bring?
I like that you don't like, okay, I like you just like I like a group of people. It's the same reason. It's not the same thing all the time. You get what I'm saying? Like that's what I like. I like a person who go, I can talk about this, I can talk about this, I can talk about this, I can talk about this. Now, there's certain things you're gonna stick to, but I know it can go from sports to serious. It ain't gotta be sports, or serious. You get what I'm saying? So for me, and that's my thing. But also I say this, and this might sound, and this ain't just you, but this goes out for a lot of people. I like that you keep making content, even though you know you should be bigger. You get what I'm saying? Because a lot of times people go, man, I'm done with this. Because it's like I'm trying to put information out here, and it's not reaching as many as I think it should. And then you might compare yourself to other people, and then you're like, what is going on here? If they doing this and I'm doing this, and it don't make sense. So I respect the resilience. I respect the ability to get up and say, I'm gonna still do it though. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes people get so discouraged with this. They, like you said earlier, I don't feel like it today. Sometimes I've seen people just shut it down completely.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Shut it down completely. So more than anything else, I respect the fact that you still going, because a lot of y'all who don't create content, y'all might not understand. Sometimes it's just like, man, what am I doing this for? Like, why am I doing this? This is a waste of time at this particular point. And usually it's for a deeper purpose. So I wouldn't. And that goes, like I said, that goes to a lot of different people too, though. Because I'm a person, I pop in and pop out, pop in and pop out, pop in and pop out. And I notice over the years, like, man, you sometimes you don't realize you want more people to listen because you want them to have a better life. And it's like, dog, you don't gotta listen to this bull. You could listen to that bull, but don't follow those type of instructions. You know, so it's a struggle, and I know it's a struggle, and I know it's a labor of love to stay active, even when you don't want to do it.
You know, brother, I appreciate the compliment, and that's what I've been saying. I know, brother, she stay sleep TV. You know,
Yeah,
sometimes and he always said, "Big bro, we need you because you understand what I'm saying. I know you get it. It's not the point. I want people to understand. It ain't all about, oh, you want symphony, oh, you want to play, oh, victim. You want to feel you want to be needed. You feel that wherever you deal with, you learn from your mistakes and be a better you and pass it on to help people.
right.
And it's like I said, I don't feel needed at time. So what's this? I put myself out there, but he talking about after him. He said, I need you. Other people have reached out to me throughout the years and said, we need you. And it's like, sometimes I'm gonna tell you right, sometimes I can actually have a live, right? Then I just erase it. I just erase it. Because if I don't feel it here,
That's a wrap.
it's a wrap. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna put myself out there. So I'm glad that you let people know, because sometimes when you know what I'm saying, when we talk like this in these conversations, it's like we just talk. They say we talk to a brick wall, and I'm not talking about the ones in the chat. I'm not talking about Joe. I'm talking about people outside. It's not easy what we do, and we trying to put ourselves out there to help people, to be versatile. And I could say I one of the few in the space. I dealt through a lot, and I share my testimony to people. I'm like my parent. I learned that from my late parents. When you go through life, you got to experience different things. You got to learn about certain things and make you a better person. So I take pride. I do. I take pride what I do, and whatever I say, it's 1,000. It's 1,000.
Hmm.
And it's not being respected in the space. So I can understand outside the space, but inside the space, it's not being respected.
Outside the space is hella respected. That's the crazy part about it. So outside of this space, how do you think these people get content from watching these spaces because they don't have anything? So all they do is they dress up people's content for their quote unquote audience, and sometimes people get offended. You know, I say, and I'll bring this up. Even he's passed away, but Kevin Samuels.
Yes.
There were people who were upset because they felt like he was taking their material, and there were people who didn't say a word when he quote unquote took their material, because the message of what he was what they felt like he was trying to do was more important, because people wasn't putting it together at that time. And then you have other people who go, I'm gonna just take your stuff, and you'll never know I watched you, but it sure is gonna sound similar. I don't know you, but after a while you're gonna go, hey man, that's like the 10th video that hey man, hold up now. Let me double check and see who subscribed, because this don't sound, this sounds too much like, sometimes we're like comedians. We get mad because people steal our jokes. You know what I'm saying? So it's and this is a tricky thing. Is the message more important, or is the messenger more important?
That's something to think about. But see, a lot of people in the space, they don't know the difference. No, let me change. Let me switch that. They refuse. They refuse to know the difference.
Yeah. I had a conversation with somebody, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was telling them that when the underground died, a part of us as a community died. And it was like, it's like, wait, which, like, how you figure that? And I said, when we had an underground, and I'm just using we had a hip hop underground, people liked the underdog. People wanted to hear somebody who was the underdog, up and coming, make it. People wanted to know about that. And it didn't matter where you were from. Somebody got your tape, somebody got your CD, you know what I'm saying? Somebody even, when it became MP3, somebody got your MP3 because it was blasted out. And it's like, hey, this person is the next one. And people gravitated to that. And when that died, it became we don't remember what an underdog story is anymore. We don't remember what's up and coming anymore. We don't say what's different anymore. We don't, people used to talk about what's the next wave. It's hard to have a wave when you don't pay attention to who's up and coming.
Yeah.
So now we're at a point where, the cream don't rise to the top anymore because everybody's comfortable with the veneer that we have. And what's going to wind up happening is, it's what I see happen now is, people stay on top and then all of a sudden they just crash and burn, and people turn on them just like that. And it's like, why y'all turning on them? They was fake when you enjoyed them the first time. Like, now you became real. Now you wanted something real when you loved something fake for all this time. Like, what are you talking about? That's your speed. And I hate to say, whether it's men talking to women, women talking to women, men talking to men, women talking to men. It's the same process all over. Whether it's political, you know what I'm saying? It don't matter now. The amount of fakeness or the amount of understanding to what's, and I hate to use the term what's real, but and I'm not even gonna say, okay, well, I'm real and people not real. That's not even what it is. It's just one of those situations where, you remember when Cat Williams got on Shannon Sharp and people was like, oh.
Yes.
And it was like, well, basically he got on the show and told factual things. And it turned out to be true. And it's like, that shouldn't be shocking to you. You know why that's shocking? Because you've been living a lie. That's why that's shocking. So we live in a world, and I hate to say it, as us as Black people, we didn't used to be so blind like this.
Never.
So for somebody that's Black, it kind of becomes like, whoa, time out, bro. You can't. I'm sorry, you don't know where you at. You don't know what country. You don't know the history. You trying to reinvent the wheel now. And you think when you reinvent the wheel, it's going to be different. Okay. Interesting. So, we're getting, unfortunately, we're getting more and more lost. And I'm not too sure if people going to find their way. I hope people do, but I'm not too sure about it.
All right, so let me ask you this question before we continue, right? So that means that whatever they think is factual, it's like an illusion, right?
Pretty much.
Okay. I asked that question because by me getting older, make mistakes here and there. I learned from the elders, true elders. You gotta learn from it, make you a better person long term. But I seen go by our people again. I gotta talk about humanity all we want to. Our people, especially the elders, it's not there. So as me, OG slash elder, me being 58, Brother Alonzo Hall, salute to you. Thank you for coming. Appreciate that. So for me, where is my growth becoming a productive elder? So that means I got to learn gradually. So where's the growth on that?
Oh my God, this is about to be so terrible. I gotta say this. When it comes to elders, when people hit a certain age, and now I say when people hit a certain age, there were people who lived a long time. But I gotta admit, we come from a group of people that a lot of people didn't make it past 55.
Right.
Especially men. You get what I'm saying? So in some ways, that's new territory, especially for us men, because it's like, grow, boy. Did you know? How many of us can say, some of us have outlived our parents and our friends.
Yeah.
And that's a hard pill to swallow. You get what I'm saying? So can you grow? Yeah. But, and this is what this always sucked. If whichever direction you grow in, will you have the patience to keep living until the moment that somebody actually needs that growth? Because people used to ask for it, and now they just, they act like everybody got life like forever to live, and it's like, no, that's not true. Now it's hard to give that information, and like you've seen people who go, they get older, they go to the old folks' homes, and nobody checks on them. They wither away. Back in the day, you still, your grandparents and great grandparents will still either be in the house or at somebody's house, or it'll be a situation where everybody's involved in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Now it's like everybody's on their own. So when you grow, it's like you might grow by yourself. And you might have to grow for yourself more importantly than the other people. But
Yeah.
But I can say this about this age. Older people are looking younger and younger and are being healthier and healthier. So younger people might want to listen. They might want to listen because it's a lot of stuff that I was talking to a guy, and he was like, a young one guy that's in my age group, and we're talking about our kids, and he said, these kids, they don't understand, they think, they're going through a hard time because of the economy. And it's like, he was telling me, like, his son was like, yo, y'all had money in the 90s and the 2000s. We ain't got it like that. And I said, why don't you tell your son that he never lived in the 80s?
Right.
Everybody didn't have money. Like, he saw maybe in the 90s and the 2000s, he don't realize people in the 80s were struggling for real.
Yeah.
So I was like, if you introduce people to, the actual past that they seem so distant from, they will understand like this is a rerun. It's going to be difficult for folk, but it's a rerun. You got me thinking like, let me, oh, this is going to be a terrible question. This is messed up to ask this.
Ask.
It's about to be holiday. It's holiday season, y'all. So here's my question.
Okay.
How many black people have you seen keeping the traditions of the holidays?
Like my late father said, you want the sugarcoat truth or the truth?
That's why I said it'd be a terrible question to ask. I want the truth.
No, it's not tough. No, it's not a tough question. I can answer like how but I said how ain't none. Now we talking about factual and fake, right?
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, actually, people that fake the tradition, and I'm not talking about. You understand what I'm saying, bro? I'm not talking about the symbol.
right.
I'm talking about the human interactions.
Exactly.
It's not there. I mean, how you this how you could say that I'm family, right? I'm using me as an example.
Oh yeah.
Say that I'm family, but you don't want me to come because somebody else tell you not to come because you're not invited. But you said I'm family though, right? So I'm family almost 300 something days, right? If I'm talking about faith. But now you want to turn on being real to the holiday season. And it goes again of the elders. And I'm not talking about just men, I'm talking about women too. It's not holding these people accountable to tell them to start to be fake. Because I'm a person. I don't like being around fake people. There's certain people with blood in my family that are fake. That I do talk about in the past on my channel. I don't like to be around fake people. Don't want me. Don't come to me. All of a sudden, you want the certain resources, or you want the certain love, or you want the certain cottage. And all of a sudden, I'm cool now. But then when you come from the real, when you tell them to be accountable for it, you wrong. I'm just accessible around holiday season. But after New Year's, right?
It's over.
It's done, right? But I'm supposed to accept, right? So to answer more of your question, that's not a terrible question. It is a good question because I think we need to talk about that too. And you gave me a good idea because I do underrated men's talk. I'm thinking about continue this conversation as a underrated men's talk, and I want you to be my main guest.
When? Let me expound on this for a second.
Go ahead.
And like I said, I grew up, New Orleans, Chicago, right?
Right.
So how many people like, oh man, I miss grandma's gumbo. I miss how grandpa barbecued. Oh, I miss the jambalaya. I miss the mac and cheese. I miss the way they seasoned the turkey. I miss the ham. I miss the breakfast. You know what I'm saying? I miss the grits and eggs. I miss the French toast. I miss the pancakes. I miss the red beans and rice, right? I miss when they would fix your car. I miss when people when granddad or the uncles come to the house and they fix stuff in the house and I miss all of that. And it's like, wait a minute, you miss all that? I miss when people would come to the game and I miss, you get what I'm saying? I miss all of these things. And it's like, bruh, you missed that? Yeah. Didn't they give you all them recipes, but you didn't want them? Didn't they teach you how to do all of this stuff, but you was too good to do it? See, the question is, so you miss all of this stuff and you miss all of these interactions. I miss how they made their own wine. I miss how they made their own remedies. I done forgot all that stuff. Oh, you forgot. You forgot. And you miss it. Why did they pass it down to you? For you to pass it down to other people, right? But you was too good for it. So now all these traditions that you miss, when it's your turn to do it, oh, you ain't nowhere to be found. See, you supposed to be barbecuing now. You supposed to be making the mac and cheese now. You supposed to be fixing the young folks' cars and fixing people's houses and cutting people's lawns and all that stuff. That's what you supposed to be doing now, right? Oh, but you can't. But I remember when you called. I remember all these people. You sure did call grandma a whole lot to get what you wanted. You sure called uncle and granddad a whole lot to get what you wanted. You sure called your older brothers and everybody to get what you wanted. But now, now when it's your turn to do it, because like I was talking about earlier, with people not living past 55, if we want to be honest, a lot of y'all killed y'all family because they were doing so much for y'all. And now you don't want to be the one killing yourself for everybody else.
And you know what, brother L.R., let me say this. I was raised as your witness, so we didn't really partake of holidays, but I've been around holidays too. Okay. And I could say this, that the family unit was together. The mother, father was together. The aunts and uncles was together. The grandfather and the grandmas was together. And the unity was there. So we took upon ourselves, or whatever gems, whatever they give, right? We got it. It was important to pass that on and keep the tradition going. Again, let me specifically say this, repeat it again. I'm not talking about the symbol part of holidays. I'm talking about the humanity part of it, the cultural part of it. Then on something, we got to think about broken homes, single fathers, single mothers. That plays an impact. Also, you got certain family members, they don't like that person because that person is not in that certain bracket. Because I'm telling y'all this, and brother L.R., because I seen it in my family. Right this minute, I got a member. I'm not gonna say what it is, but I could bring it up there because I don't have no problem. They let me know that they getting married next month, but I haven't talked to you almost 3 or 4 months, and this is blood. But you got some people is saying that, oh, family is everything. No, it's not to me. God is everything to me. I don't keep. Oh, you don't love it. Yes, I do. I respect family, but we gotta let's keep it truthful over here. And despite L.R., he does the same thing on his channel. Let's keep it truthful over here. People want to pick and choose who they want to be with. I don't like this person because that person's not acting according to how I feel or how the family feels. But you said on family though, right? We adults, right? We wherever any disagreement or any fallout, we supposed to sit down and talk. Understand that the grandfathers and the grandmothers and the aunts and uncles and the mother and the father had give us gems to keep it going, right? So that means you going back what they saying in the past, right? But you expect me to be around you that you trying to hurt my humanity. You disrespecting that I wanted to take up what the elder, what they had shown me, right? That I want to act on it and bring my source to it, right?
Boy, oh boy. So
I mean,
I'm gonna pivot a little bit because when you
go ahead.
the broken homes, you know what I think at this point in life, I think we had a stereotype of broken homes, and now we don't want to deal with the current reality of broken homes. And this is what I mean. The stereotype of broken homes was dad cheated on mom, dad is a deadbeat, Papa was a Rolling Stone. And it was just a bunch of kids out there now who was just left to the wayside. The current reality is there was never a family to begin with. And nobody is really being like nobody's really being the amount of deadbeats went out of the window. The amount of Rolling Stones went out of the window. Truthfully, what it is people just want control. I want a kid and I want to raise this kid, and you just happen to get me pregnant. That's pretty much the norm we living in now. And it's like the difference is, and this is where a broken home and a broken family to me is two different things. And I'm gonna tell you why. A broken home is a husband and a wife and kids. A broken family is you have a kid with somebody, and you and another person have a kid, and they only know one side of their family. Because whether people remember this or not, even there were how can I say, there were single moms even before I was born, but what in our community, but what they wasn't was when you figure out who the dad is, or if you know who the dad is, both sides of the family had a hand in that kid. Didn't nobody care about your personal feelings. You didn't get to just run off and say we all got the kid. That wasn't a norm in our community, but now it is. So now the kids that we're seeing, and the kids that we're seeing coming up are really people who were raised in a one-sided demeanor, and they became selfish, and they're just a representation of the family that raised them. So now it's like, man, unfortunately, how can I say this properly?
Say it.
Unfortunately, the society we live in is because you were raised in selfishness. And you got young men and young women as adults who are selfish. They're entitled, they're lazy, they're soft. And then people go, it's the men, and I was like, no, it's not the lack of men. You know how I know why it's not the lack of men? Because, and I'm gonna use this analogy for all the single mothers out there. You got men in your family. They let your kids go to the wayside too, because they got tired of the control. What happened is it's not two strong sides of the family. And they have that whole statement, power corrupts, absolute power corrupts absolutely. So that's how kids got corrupted. This is why we live in a society where being a liar is just okay now. Being a manipulator is okay now. Being a quote unquote scammer is okay now. Being a quote unquote finesser is okay now. And people don't realize, like 20, 30 years ago, you probably get killed for that. And this is where, and this goes into everything. It goes back to what I was asking about, or right, a single mother is a wife who's widowed. I get it. But the other part of that is this goes back to what I was clowning about earlier. These are why the teams are soft. These are why the boxers are soft. These are why the basketball players are soft. These are why this is why our society is soft. Because we're not accustomed, this is why the church is suspect. You know what I'm saying? Because we're not accustomed to being honest anymore. And you ain't got to be harsh to be honest. You just got to be honest. We've let our society do things that, how they say, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. We really thought as a society, the way that we've been doing things the last 30, 40 years was going to work out great. And now people want to turn to be like, I don't know how we got here. You know exactly how we got here.
You know, but another point, brother L.A.R, and I got another question is this, that, and I say this on my channel. Now, the sadder thing about it, we got overly emotional men who do not want to take on help being a man. You hear what I'm saying? To be a whole man. Because see, when I come from, you know what I'm saying, bro, because I know you talk this on your channel too. I'm from that cloth. Men hold men accountable, women hold women accountable. Women hold men accountable, men hold women accountable. That's where I come from. And it seems that when we talk like this, you attacking me. Oh, you don't know. It seems like I don't understand what you said. I can't comprehend what you're saying. But see, people fail to understand when you're outside looking in, when you experience certain things, when you say, hey, yo, watch out for that because you're not good. So now that's what I'm saying, that we deal with men. They say they men, but they not. You want to be coddled. And then let me say this. Being a real man, you gotta cry. You gotta reach out to the person so you can get certain gems to help you. I'm not talking about that part. I'm not talking about that. But there are actually men out there. They want to be coddled. And they make a mistake after mistake and mistake. And they say they feel that being a man that have a job, being a man had a certain position. But I would ask this question: so what masculinity really means to you individually, personally? Because everything what I say, it doesn't mean nothing, especially you put God first. But I understand being a man. I said people understand. Oh, you just being a man, because that's what I'm saying. Because this is what I've been hearing throughout the years, even in this space, even outside of space. There are people telling them, I'm talking about overly emotional men, and since that to me, that actually running the society.
For sure.
Telling me that if a man do not have money, or I live in an apartment, and I'm renting, I'm not a man. I'm not the head of my own household. Or I take a walk around the neighborhood, check on people that don't have no respect for me. Or I get up in the morning, have to pay bills, don't even feel like it, because I don't have no help. Again, I'm in a relationship with the miss almost 2.5 years. So at times she do help me out. So I gotta throw it out there. Shout out to the miss. She do help me, but when she leave, it's still on me. Hear what I'm saying? So that's not being respected, being a man. My character's not being, I'm not talking about just me, I'm talking about other men. We're not being respected. I gotta be of a certain level to be a man.
Oh, yeah. People need a certain baseline, I think, of what being a man is. But the problem is, it's just like everything else in our society. People change it at whatever they feel like. You know what I'm saying? So if I don't fit this baseline, I ain't got to be that. I could be this, and it's like, listen, this how it's gonna work at the end of the day. We're living in a world where what being a man is basically the ability to take care of losers, and I had to subsidize losers. If you have the ability to take care of people who really aren't willing to take care of themselves, that's what people see as a man is now. And see, there was a time where guys would be like, listen, if I'm working, if I'm saving, if I'm doing all this stuff, and I'm doing it, and I'm sacrificing myself for your benefit, you better be a winner at the end of the day. Because I'm not going, because this is becoming a waste of time. And now, you know, because we're looking at men as, and there's nothing wrong with a man that's supposed to be smart, a man that's supposed to be hardworking, a man that's supposed to have integrity. You know what I'm saying? A man is supposed to be able to handle adversity. Men do cry, men do, but the society we living in now is just, it's soft. Because now all of a sudden a guy can cry himself out of being responsible. A guy could cry himself out of working. A guy could cry himself out of being intelligent. And that is you. What do you mean? I'm not a man if I don't know. No, bro. Like, I know what you're doing. What you're doing is you're really taking a shortcut or easy out because you don't want to deal with this weight that's on your shoulders. Yeah, you know, as a man, it's some things that's unfair, absolutely unfair. And and a black man in America, absolutely unfair. But here's the issue. If you take the approach that somebody's gonna help you, that's where it's all messed up. It's unfortunate to say that, but as a black man, you got to expect you're not gonna get helped in this world.
So let me ask you this question. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No,
I'm sorry.
Go ahead. No.
So let me ask you this question, but L.A.R. What about a brother that is on disability?
Different story. Disability. You know how you used to say, you got to be willing and able. If you might be willing, but you might not be able. That's what disability is for. People who are willing but not able. You know.
Okay, but how about a person? Because I talk about this on my channel. How about a person on disability, not for their own, but they still hold it down?
Yeah, that means you got a disability and you still holding down, so you double time.
Why it's not being respected? Why is still getting crucified?
What I was about to say.
Say it. Because you know, bro. Listen, I understand.
No, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it
because before you feel it, before you say it, but gotta say it is because that conversation is not. I'm not saying you. It's not being respected, and it's not. It is.
No, it's not disrespect. It's disdain.
Okay, I stand to be correct.
Well, in my opinion, it's disdain. It's not I disrespect this person because they're disabled and they're making it happen. No, I don't like this person because they're disabled and they're making it happen, and I'm not disabled and I'm not making it happen.
Oh,
disdain.
Repeat that again, please.
It's not the person. It's not disrespect because it's a person who's disabled, but they're making it happen. It's disdain. It's disdain because the other person is like, you're disabled and making it happen, and I'm able and I'm not making it happen. So I don't like you. You get what I'm saying? I don't like you now because I don't have it. You're sitting in front of my face. Same way you talk, like, you know, if people are from the same circumstances and somebody becomes successful in those circumstances, people don't like them. But and one of the reasons that they don't like them is like, man, you know, he didn't have it as hard as me. Yes, he did. He's from the same place you from. He was going through the same stuff you was going through. The difference is he kept going. You didn't. Let's be honest. He kept going. You didn't. You get what I'm saying? So now it becomes, you know, man, I don't never like him, man. He this, he that, or she this, she that. And it's like, no. What he is and what she is not a quitter. You quit. They didn't know that they would end up where they at. And they didn't know that you didn't know you would end up where you at. But when you walked away and they kept going, that's where they went. That's where they ended up. Now you could tell yourself, if I had kept going, would I have been over there? Possibly. You know, that we have this thing where sometimes, like I said, sometimes it's not just that. Sometimes it's not disrespect in general, it's disdain. Sometimes you're around people that don't like you because you might be doing something that they could be doing. You know, I didn't do a review because there's a show on Netflix called The Cage. It's a French show, so they got the subtitles. It's a French show about MMA fighting. So the main character, in my opinion, he finessed his way in to be a fighter. And it worked, okay? His ego, he wound up finessing his way to be a fighter, but he got played all along the way, right? But he had a best friend that didn't like him at that point. You know why his best friend didn't like him? Because he was better at MMA than him. He was better at MMA, and the star of the show got the opportunity because he did some people will say a season, a moment. Other people will be like, you just kind of, you lucked up. You get what I'm saying? So in that position, it's like his friend is looking at him like, man, I'm better than you. Why you here? Yeah, I'm on your team, but I'm better than you. Yeah, we making money now, but I'm better than you. Yeah, you on TV, but I'm better than you. So you wind up in that situation where a person just sitting there like they're there, but they don't like you because they feel like you in their spot. And that's something we just can't. And that goes with everybody, honestly. But
right. So
some of us
I got a
my bad.
Hey, no, go finish.
No, I'm done.
And another question I want to ask you this: that what's your favorite sports that you played that you could have got better than?
So I played when I was younger. I played football, baseball, wrestling, track. I boxed a little bit.
Okay.
For me, everything kind of went downhill because I blew out my hamstring when I was like a junior. And
oh wow.
And so everything kind of went downhill from there because I couldn't. It was bad, but I still played. I played through stuff, but I wasn't able to be the same person after that. Kind of like Eric Dickerson. I had to find. Eric Dickerson was great until he tore his hamstring, and it was like it was over basically. But as far as sport, I was all right. Like, I didn't get to play in college because of my bad attitude. So I could say, I'll say this. When I was in high school, there was a point where I averaged like 30 yards a touch because I was playing all positions. I was receiver, running back, kick, punt, all that. As far as a position, I played cornerback a lot. In 2 years, I gave up 3 receptions, on varsity. So I was cool with that. My fastest time in track was a 10.4 and 100. I blew out my hamstring the very next week. I blew out my hamstring actually down in the state meet. Wrestling, I got into that late. So I started off slow, but I wound up winning. I beat people that was ranked, because I started in high school. I actually stopped wrestling. Like I said, I quit wrestling. It got boring to me. Practice was boring, not the meets. The practice was boring. Okay. Baseball, I started in high school at baseball, so I was a terrible hitter, but I stole. We had like 20 something 30 games. I stole somewhere between 40 and 60 bases. That's how I wound up just going to track because I stole so many bases. I had to go run track. So, boxing, I always fought as a kid. I mean, I kind of sandbagged with a lot of people. Like when I went to DC, I was fighting all summer. I go back to Chicago, I wasn't fighting. Sometimes I beat people up. Sometimes I get beat up. That's normal in fighting, in my opinion. But as I got older, I would probably say, as I got older, that I would have probably been the best at boxing. I would have been because I didn't realize this until I got in my 20s, 20s maybe 30s. Like I can punch real hard. Like when I was younger and playing sports, I could as playing defense, I could hit. I from a kid from high school, from grade school to college, I done gave a lot of people concussions. A lot of people, whether it's practice, game, I done gave a lot of people concussions. Now I done got I done got a few times, but I've dished out far more than I got. So when it came to, as I got older, when it came to me just boxing, I didn't realize I could punch that hard. And I'm not a person who just gonna swing for the fence. I ain't that guy. And I spar now, and it's just like my homeboy's like, "Hey, swing for real." I'm like, nope, not finna do it. Not finna. You think it's gonna go one way? It's not. I've knocked out. I'm like 170. I've knocked out people. I've knocked out heavyweights. It's not a. So I didn't, when I was young, I knew I could fight. When I got older, I kind of, I didn't really go towards it. And then as I got like my 20s, 30s, I was like, okay. I did not know. I probably missed my calling. I probably missed my calling. I still spar now. And it's like, once I get my eyes, it's pretty much a wrap because I'm very sound defensively. But I got to get, once I get a rhythm going, like if I don't spar in like 2-3 months, that first second session, I'm gonna get touched up. But after that, it's gonna be real difficult to hit me. And I'm good at countering. I can hit you. I can go in between the shots. So I probably, and I know I stopped when I was in high school. I got a cut like right here. When I was in high school, I was jumping in the pool, and I jumped in the pool and hit and skint this whole side of my face off. So I stopped fighting. I stopped fighting because this cut would always, if somebody touched it, it would always bleed.
Right.
So I left it alone because it's on the bone or whatever. So yeah, so I didn't even, I just kind of just tossed that to the side. And then as I got older, I was like, oh my God. I did knock multiple heavy bags off. I did knock aqua bags off. And I'm like, damn it, I probably should have been a boxer. So that's part of me being, boxing, having a podcast and being into that, because I got the love for it again. I was introduced to boxing. My first real introduction was when Roy Jones lost at the Olympics. I was hooked then.
88 Seoul Olympics, 1988. Yeah.
First time, because I was a kid, but I watched that. But when I saw him losing at Olympics, I got hooked on boxing, because I was like, that is so unfair. I was like, I don't even know this sport. Like, I know he beat the brakes off old boy though.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that would have probably been the best one. Honestly, I messed that one up.
Got you. You wanna take questions? We still gonna keep on doing
for sure. For sure.
Okay. I said another 10 more minutes. Put your questions down. But let me say this. I will screen the questions. If I feel the questions is not appropriate, I'm not gonna ask that question.
Look, I'll answer anything. I ain't got
okay.
Nothing to hide.
We're gonna leave it like that. No, that's how I do my chat.
Yeah, I get it.
But he said you can ask any question, no problem. So within 10 minutes, so 10 minutes from now, put your questions down and he will answer it. Again, welcome to my channel, The Underrated Dog. This is yours truly, the #1 grinder, one of the best cat seekers on social media. Then we got my brother right here, brother L.A.R. Movement. Now I'm gonna ask you that question. I said question after I get these announcements out the way. Welcome, brother L. We're chopping up with me on Darkness Roundtable. Thank you so much. And we're going to keep this going. And so this is the question I want to ask you. How you come up the L.A.R. movement?
Me, rap name. So if you go on my page, it's actually 2 albums on my page, like in the playlist. So, and sometimes when I go live, people hear like the music. That's actually my music for the intros and outros. So what had happened was, um, I had me and my homeboy. He was the producer. So L.A.R. stands for Lorraine's Audubon Revival, and then movement. So Lorraine was where Martin Luther King got shot. Audubon, where Malcolm X got shot, and the
Wow.
R actually is for revival. So to bring that type of energy back, because that's what it was for when we created the music. And that was specifically what the second album was about. So the second album was actually L.A.R. So that's why it's that way. But at the time, I made music, but I had the YouTube page, so I just kept the name and kept it on the YouTube page. And back in the day, I just would upload the songs, and then after a while, I just uploaded the whole album. So I've been making content this whole time, but it's been music on my page for years. So
Noticed that, right?
that's what that's about.
Yeah. So, cause Brian, he asked the question, "Where L.A.R.?" Well, he explained it. Did you hear it, Brian? Because he explained it. That's wow. Yeah, Lorraine, Otto, and then when Mark West got shot at, that's upper Manhattan, New York. That me born and raised in New York, I very, very familiar around there, because come and think about it, before you send me the let me know that you Chicago and
NOLA.
New Orleans, right? What happened was I got a background of Malcolm X and the late great Malcolm X and the late great Martin Luther King. I was gonna use that as a background.
That's the background for the album. For the hell out, that's literally the background.
Let me show you right now, and I'm gonna switch it back to you. Switch it back. If I can get this, she had to help me. Let me see. I get while we talking and stuff like that. So yeah, I'll okay. I'm gonna show y'all right this minute. See, I was gonna let me go around here. See, I was gonna come on, work with me. See, where is it at? I was gonna put this.
Yeah, that's the same picture. We just had
wow. I was
picture.
going right. I was going you because I did some looking at this thing too. So I was going to put that, but what happened was I feel it was appropriate. What I put for you and everything. So I feel I want to do that for you. At least that for you. So
Yeah. I get it, because the other one I had is I got another one, but fun fact, the part of Chicago I grew up in is where Fred Hampton's from. So every now and then when I used to do lives, I would have Fred Hampton in the background, because that's my neighborhood.
Right.
So I think us as Black people, we kind of lost. It ain't even the activism part. I think we just lost the ability to intellectually approach America the way we should. People don't realize how smart Muhammad Ali was. People don't realize how smart Malcolm was. People don't realize how smart Martin was. People don't realize how smart Fred was. They don't or Hugh or Omega Evans. They don't realize the real the amount of intelligence those brothers possessed. And I can go on and on from that time period. Like the amount of intelligence, even Farrakhan possessed that. Elijah, like the amount of intelligence that the things that people were talking about, that are still affecting us to this day, the positives and the negatives. Like,
Right.
they was so ahead of their time. They were so ahead of their
Mhm.
time. And we don't have that as much anymore.
I think I feel when it's go more your point and everything. At that time, they were smart, articulate, but they wanted to fight.
Yeah.
They wanted to give their life for us as a people in a global sense. Because see, I was born in '66, right? Why 1966 is significant? That's when Kwanzaa was born.
Mm-hmm.
1966 also, that's when the Black Panthers was born.
Exactly.
So
it's just not
I was born into history.
And we don't say that, and like people don't connect the dots enough. Like, we had a certain epicenters of just Black America. It's just not, and I don't mean to live in the past and go like things ain't how they used to be, so they suck now. It's not that. It's just, we were taught to respect respect our elder sacrifices and not ignore them. And I think that's died.
Yeah.
You can't do that
Yeah.
if you don't know, how good they did.
Okay. So how long you been in this space, if you don't mind to ask?
Probably since the beginning. Before I
Gotcha.
was in the space before they even called it, before we had it. I don't think, what? Do people even know how it came to be? Like, so remember when Tommy Sotomayor was blowing up?
Yes.
So what happened was there was a lady, forget her name at the point. She made a hit list of black male YouTubers. She made a hit list of black male YouTubers that she wanted to get basically kicked off of YouTube. And she posted somewhere on social media like Facebook or something like that. And
Is it Cynthia G?
No, it wasn't Cynthia G.
But I think Cynthia did something like that.
No, I don't think she did it. It was another lady. Because she did it a couple of times. So
Okay.
she put out a list and then she revised it and then revised it again. So it was like, huh?
Marzine, something like that.
No, not Kristen Carroll. I want to. Is it Brooklyn? I think it's Brooklyn Blue. She wasn't big at the time,
Right.
but she was known, but she wasn't big. So,
Okay.
so basically, the first list came out. I wasn't on that. Second list, I was on it. Third list, I was on it. So some of the guys, because we were already subscribed to each other, knew each other, as far as communicating on YouTube. It's like, hey man, how about we just kind of click up a little bit, because if this happens, we're gonna have to jump to people's pages and be cool, you know what I'm saying, and form some type of unity. And that's basically what happened with the quote unquote Black Manosphere. So that's why you had Obsidian, BGS, O'Shea, Angry Man, predominantly.
Right.
People were involved with all of them four in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Minister Jap, they were the I guess the figureheads at the time. And so everybody got cool through that, because people would be on certain people's pages and certain people's chats, and so people stayed cool over the years. Right. So that's how that one really formed. And so I've been there since everybody decided like we're gonna be cool. Tommy didn't want to be on a part of it. he was doing his thing. And it's understandable because he was blowing up. And then there were other guys who didn't do it, but they were doing their thing. Like the Advice Show was on that list.
Right, I remember that. Right,
Mr. Superboy 223 was on that list. I want to say Professor Black Truth was on it. It was a hodgepodge of guys that, because the lady wanted to get guys out of YouTube because she felt like they were disrespectful to black women. But the problem was that whole list wasn't disrespectful to black women. It was some people who were disrespectful, but it was people that didn't have nothing to do with that beef that they put on that list. So that's what that was about.
Yeah, it is. Okay. Again, anybody want to ask questions, feel free. And also, brother L.R, continue. You want to ask questions about me, feel free. I don't mind. Get hardest. Get harder. Get harder. Okay.
I'm a petty one. I'm a petty one.
All right.
What was y'all? Okay, let me do this. Let me go back to being light. The Knicks lost. Why would y'all trade Julius Randle for Cat? Why? He don't even fit y'all city.
See? Again, you want the sugarcoat question?
No, I want the truth.
I said for me, they traded Randle because Randle was complaining how New York media treat him, and he didn't produce in the playoffs, and they got Cat, and I don't know why Minnesota let Cat go. That's the thing for me too.
I know why.
Me too, but we're gonna get to that in a few seconds. Definitely gonna get a few seconds. But they feel that I think part of it, I could stand to be corrected. I think he want to reunite with the coach, Thibault, that was the coach of Minnesota. I'm just saying that could be part of it, but I think that they feel that Cat that fit the Knicks and stuff like that, And then Minnesota let him walk, and Randle covered it. Now there are some people in Minnesota that complain about Randle already. So we talk about the culture now. So anybody could join and say this is a culture.
This is not a good culture.
I think people just lose that word loosely instead of understand the history. And I'm throwing back at you.
Y'all gonna find out how soft Cat is. Y'all gonna find out, and y'all gonna find out the hard way. So let me get this right. Let me see. Okay, so the Knicks at 4 and the Timberwolves at 7, right? And they pretty much got the same record, right? Y'all, I swear y'all gonna wish. Why did I do this? Because maybe Randle didn't show up in the playoffs. Okay, fine. Y'all think Cat finna show up in the playoffs? Y'all crazy. You're crazy. Now, the reason being, and this is where I gotta ask. And this is a serious question that I want to know for sure. What happened to New York?
Culturally?
Yes.
Of all factors, or sports, or politics, or just
all like it's like the whole. New York used to be a place. It wasn't necessarily feared, but it was respected. Well, and I don't see that anymore.
Now, I could do a live on this.
Hey, go for it.
New York. And I'm going to do, you know what? What I'm going to do after wherever we finish this, I'm going to reach out to you because I want you to be on an underrated men's talk. Yeah. When we talk about other things, on the fact that, and also New York, I'm going to put it in right here, right now. New York ain't the standard. We everybody see it was New York, like it was like glitter, but we was like also like blue collar. You come here. It's not like you said, it's not being fair. When you come here, ain't happening. You know, we got people right here. Listen, we gonna check you right then and there. Don't let the glitter fool you and stuff like that. You think you cannot just come here and punk us out like that? New York got soft. The ones that represent New York, like me, they don't want us to be. They don't want us to be in the front no more. They want the softies. I'm talking about man. They want the softies. They don't want the grit from New York. See, like you got the teams back then. They had grit. Even they wasn't the born and raised New York, but they knew it was family. The grit.
And
it's not. It's like fake diamonds and stuff. It's like, yeah, I come in here and you let other people come punk us out like that. You told me I'm rocking. Y'all let people rock in New York and they don't know New York. Y'all don't know the stature of New York. What it really means. When you walk down that street, there's a certain air to it. You hear what I'm saying? You probably see me. I got my Yankee jacket, my Yankee hat. I rep that shit. I'm New York. I rep that shit. I'm about that New York standard. I'm about that life. It ain't all about bad, but I'm about that life. You're not gonna talk now. You talk my city. It's going anywhere you at and everything. But we gonna stick to New York now. I wrap my so sometimes I wrap my head like this, or sometimes I'll go somewhere I rap like this. I'm rapping New York no matter what. I'm part of that standard for the past. And I hold on to that. New York got soft. They had everybody talk to them any way they want to. Wherever goes on, New York make movies. They ain't all about that. That's what go back to men again. These men in New York is soft. How you could come out in jail? You get pumped up in jail. We gonna get pumped up in jail. You know what I mean? And talking about we rap in New York, but you giving them money? Yo, I was this and that. Why? What I'm saying is that, well, while you in jail, you was a Sally. You was a Lorraine. And you come out here talking about, yeah, I rep New York, I step. You ain't that. You not about that business. And I'm talking about for me.
And
I get angry. I get hurt over that shit. Because I'm not from that.
The reason I'm saying that because everywhere has changed in some way, shape, form, or fashion.
Yeah, everywhere's changed, right?
But for some of y'all, like I live in Texas, so I run into a bunch of people from everywhere. But even when I move around, I run into people from everywhere, and I can tell a person who grew up in New York in the 70s, 80s, 90s, and 2000s. I can tell the difference.
Mm-hmm.
Because at a certain point, like you said, the grit just go. It's like the grit just stopped at a certain point. And it's like, oh yeah, I'm from Brooklyn. I'm like, I be messing with friends of mine, coworkers. You from Buffalo, dog. You is not from New York. You're like, what? No, you Albany. You not where you from Poughkeepsie? I don't want to hear that New York stuff. They be like, hey man, don't you dare. I'm like, hey man, because over the years, it's like things have changed. And I can say that, in Chicago it's changed. In New Orleans it's changed. I've been out here in Houston for 24 years. In all honesty, And I used to tell people, I was like, this is the softest city I ever been to.
What?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Houston?
Yeah. Yeah.
Texas?
Yeah.
Houston.
Yes. I'm not I'm not trying to disrespect
No.
Houston.
I'm just it's mind-boggling because
But when if I grew up in Chicago, New Orleans, and the DMV, when I got here, they didn't have that gritty feeling in the air. Still don't. This is free. It's nothing to be like, you know, you go certain places and you like, look, once you touch down and you can feel it, you like, look, I can't be lollygagging out here. I could tell. Here, I just feel like you can lollygag all day long. You know, and even when you get to, even and I say even when you get to the hood, it's the same way. Like you people, I remember when I first started working out here after college, somebody was like, "Welcome to the hood," and I was looking around, and I was like, "This what y'all call the hood? Okay, y'all got grass, y'all got houses, you know, y'all all right. Y'all look like y'all doing all right. This is not hood to me." But and I tell people all the time, like, as far as America, I would say the Midwest is the harshest place in America, just because of the environment. I tell people and I say from Pittsburgh to Minneapolis, well, Pittsburgh to Omaha, it's rough environment. And I'm not just because of the way it's set up. I like the East Coast. That's a different thing, because you can have your hard spots and you can have your soft spots, because depending on what you're talking about, people consider the East Coast could be Miami to Maine, or just, sometimes Atlanta up. It just depends on how people look at it. But the West Coast is different. If you want, the hardest parts is Oakland. I can Oakland. I know people say LA is Oakland. They just like LA like that, Oakland like that. But Oakland is kind of cooler. You know what I'm saying? But there are certain spots in America that I know. Philadelphia, I already know. Detroit, I already know. You know what I'm saying? Like, you go certain places in America, the minute Memphis, it's like, okay, well, you in Memphis, Playboy. Like, the changes. I think I think America, and it's not and I'll say this, America getting softer is a good thing in some aspects.
Some aspects, yes.
But America just being soft, sometimes you feel like a dinosaur. You're like, what? America is this soft? Like, what? So, and
I mean, look at the election. Let's do before I talk my experience. Let's look at the election. I'm talking about what I see, right? Let's take the Democrats and Republicans out, right? And the independents out, right? Rural America has spoken. But see, like, mainstream media, y'all don't want to talk about it. But these are the same people do not want to have no parts of America. It has been proven throughout decades. But now all of a sudden, people talk about sexism, people talk about other stuff. But they were telling y'all throughout the years they don't want to have no parts in America. And then, but mainstream media, like I said, I'm just going by what I see. Now all of a sudden is the past. Oh, it's a woman, but they don't want the woman to be no president. They don't want to. But also, it's over 51% of white women have voted for Trump. And y'all think that that's going to change? They're on alignment with the woman. So this is what I'm saying, America. Y'all need to take a good look at yourselves. That rule America / whiteness has been on code for hundreds of years. So what are we surprised for?
You know, it's not rural America as much.
I just called it like that.
No, I get it. You know, I was talking to my homeboy. I was talking to a friend of mine. We was at the gym or whatever, and I was like, "Hey, man, suburban America is gotten bigger." I was like, people used to. We was talking about gentrification, and I was like, you know, people used to gentrify, and like every 20, 30 years, people would go from the city to the suburbs, and you back from the suburbs to the city. I was like, now they're not really doing it. They basically, you know, they keep moving further and further out because you could work from home. Like people who make them, if you're making a certain amount of money, they don't have to be in the city like that. In certain industry, don't have to be in a. So it's like people don't realize, man, the suburbs is getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And most, if you know, if you in L.A., people know L.A. It's basically L.A. all the way to Calabasas and Long. All that's considered L.A., right? You know, I'm in Texas. Houston is huge, but if you knew all the surrounding suburbs, it's ridiculous. It's just like Atlanta. You got Conyers and Lawrenceville and, you know, Lithonia. You got all kinds of stuff. So people don't realize, like, man, these people are moving further and further away, and what they don't want is the idea that you coming. That's what they don't want. So, and it ain't even, and I hate to say it.
Just say it.
Yes, America is racist, but people need to understand that they're trying to lock you out financially while they got the opportunity to. That's what they really own. They really trying to lock you out financially to make sure you and your kids and your grandkids are never be in the same stratosphere.
Yeah, I agree with that. And also the legislation, the laws that they push into that goes with what you talk about, the finance. And I've been talking about that too. That people talk about we disfranchised as a people. I agree that yes, but I'm just saying that are we part of that? Are we willing to create our own table to change things? Are we willing to fight those things as the ones in the past, as we talked about before? They said at the table, this is how it's going to get done for our people, and that is it. But a lot of us do not want to sit at the table of finance when it comes to our people, legislation of our people. So until we understand the real power, right? That I'm saying that these are people that actually sacrificed their life to get whatever little crumbs that we're getting right now. That again, we talk about these unions, right? But anybody from the union willing to sit down with us, I'm talking me and you or anybody else, to make it better for our people. But whenever they come talk about these contracts and stuff, they never talk about the class. That still our people still getting crumbs off it. But number one grinder, you don't know what you're talking about. As again, going back, I'm talking about me now on my channel. I come from special ed community in the past. how they treat our young black boys. Not saying they didn't treat our young girls, black girls better, because they haven't. But I remember at times I go to lunch, instead of the whole class go together, they separate the boys and the girls, go get the lunch first, and whatever the little boys don't get, they don't get. And this is systematic what's happening on the special way. Not just happening in New York, but this was happening all around this country until I understand the system that our people still working in and have refused to make things better. And then some of that, and when you talk about financial had a lot to do with it too, because some black man and some black woman back then, I'm talking about in the 70s now, when I was little, they was taking from the top, was not helping. And majority of them was in the union. Majority of them was living in our community. But they did not stand up for the late great Dr. Betty Shabazz, Coretta Scott King. You hear what I'm saying? We talking about women now that want to stand up for our people. Financial. They were talking about we need more books to know about ourselves. They need the financial to have better schools, better education, better parks. They were talking about this back in the 70s because I was there, brother. But this would happen. I want you to see this, but this is what they were doing.
It got privatized. I look at America like baseball and AAU.
Mm-hmm.
And people don't realize, like, baseball, black people used to be heavy in baseball.
Yes.
We were heavy and we were hella good at baseball. And what they did with us was they started making stuff so expensive that we couldn't play baseball no more.
Yep.
And then it's the same thing with basketball. Basketball, you could play ball. Everybody had a court somewhere close to their house. Everybody could play basketball. All you needed was a ball. That's it. The court was somewhere. And then what happened? They got AAU. Now you got AAU. Now you got to pay your way to play. You get what I'm saying?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And then the same now football, they say, hey man, you could get a concussion and you could have head injuries. Yeah, whatever. But and the reason why I said use the sports part is because it is. They do the same thing with school. It's unfortunate to say this, but we live in a world where if I came from a school that had less resources in the 90s,
mm-hmm.
and I knew more as a teenager then, as teenagers know now, they have all the access to the internet on their phone. We got a problem.
Right.
We got a huge problem.
Mm-hmm.
Because whether people want to understand it or not,
mm-hmm.
the future ain't looking good.
Nope.
It just ain't looking good. America, you talk about the finances part, even being, just from afar, I don't know how long the jewelry industry gonna last in New York, because people can't buy jewelry like that. Plus the diamonds and gold, that's gonna go to waste sooner.
It's shrinking already, bro.
The financial district. I know this morning, Walmart and Target took their quarterly losses on the stock market, and that's where the average American, quote unquote, shops, right? So, I look at a country like, who's going to McDonald's? When McDonald's costs as much as a sit down restaurant, we got a problem. When you say the kids eating at school, I get a kick out of these kids at school nowadays. I don't want to eat lunch. You got Chick-fil-A. Let me get, let me get, go give me go to Burger King, go to Whataburger, You know, just go to some fast food restaurant or a real restaurant. Give me Uber Eats at school, and it's like, hey, why y'all doing this to these kids? It's like, well, my kid needs this, that, and that. You expect your kid to go to college? Yeah, who gonna get them Uber Eats when they're in college? What are you doing? You know, we got adults that can't cook. We got adults that can't clean up. We got adults that can't fix things.
I'm glad you brought that point up, bro, because there's a question I want to ask you. There are actually grown people. No, that's not a question. I put that question for a few minutes. I'll ask that question for a few minutes, but I want to put this out there so you can get your thing about this. It is a question. Come find out. It is a question. Why adults? Maybe it's a stupid question, but I'm asking anyway. Why adults don't know the significant parts of take care of themselves and also running a household? And I'm not talking about when you're in a relationship or marriage. I'm talking about the basics.
Hmm.
Why that is not being shown in your eyes.
I used to think it was a money issue. Now I think it's just a pride issue. Because I remember not having money but having clean clothes.
Mm.
I remember having ironing clothes and being and you know and smelling good just with a minimal amount of stuff. I remember cleaning the house on Saturday and Sunday. You know what I'm saying? I remember, you know, cleaning the dishes and all that, you know, taking out the trash and all that other stuff, shoveling snow. And, you know, and what I've over the years, I'm like, you know, and I'm gonna say this, and it hurts to say this, but for me, so many people view their parents and grandparents as losers, that they wanted to be better than them. And and you might have made more, you might make more money than your parents. You might have made more money than your grandparents. But in all honesty, you're not a better person than them. Because what we're dealing with now is a bunch of people who just want, I hate to say that, everybody wants to be a celebrity.
It makes sense.
You know, and not be just a regular human being. So people are seeing themselves as bigger than they are. Like, nobody needed all this. We need too much attention nowadays. And the things you used to get attention for were being, you know, you could be fly, you could be fresh, you could have a reputation for things you do, but you could be clean. But now that's not the case no more.
You know, I asked that question, brother, right? When we was coming up, right? Like, if you don't have a car, you don't mind taking the bus to get where you at. You hear what I'm saying? You don't mind it. You don't have a car, but you be respected because it's part of responsibility. That's part of just expanding, you know, your horizon, how to get different way, because your parent has showed you, or your elders has showed you. You hear what I'm saying? When you get on, when you get on that train and stuff, you know, when you like want to get somewhere, you can go. You hear what I'm saying?
You knew how to get there.
Or you go on a date, or you go on a date, or you meet. Or I remember that time that a man or woman, they get off work, you know, hey, I'm gonna be at this train station, or I'm gonna be at the bus. We're gonna ride together and talk, and you gonna eat out and stuff like that. But right now, that's looking down on. You want to be Katie, you want to get right. I'm not saying nothing wrong with that, but there is, for me, it is a certain entitlement now. If you don't have a car, or you don't have a certain thing, you ain't nothing. Instead of like the little things that help you built. My
Like
parents had shown me how to travel.
Right.
On a bus or a train or wherever emergency you need. How about you don't have that car?
That might be
you gotta learn to take the bus route, train route, or whatever it is.
That I would say that might be our fault because you know, I've read, I know how to get, I've read the regular bus. You had to get a transfer. I've ridden the Greyhound.
Yeah.
I've done the subway. I've done Amtrak. I've done the plane.
I did iron track too. Yeah, right.
So it's like every form of travel, did the car, maybe had to walk,
Walk through you.
rode a bike here or there, whatever.
I'll not run the bike.
Hey, we did that. Had a hoopty for a car. You know what I'm saying? Like that whole process, we kind of, if it's so comfortable, we skip that. Going to the library, finding a book, going the old school way to do it. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We've skipped all of that. Remember memorizing people's phone numbers.
Yeah.
We've like all of those little things we forget about. Like that we and other generations don't have to do it. That's where having kids learn how to cook at an early age.
Yeah.
Those responsibilities are long gone. I remember teachers whipping you in school. You get out of pocket, they pulling out a battle.
I remember that too. Yup.
Calling your parents and your grandparents to come to the school, and so like I think we've taken away so much. We've taken away the opportunity to have life experiences because all this Uber, you Uber, you Lyft, you Uber Eats, you it's like you don't realize you taking valuable, they don't know what it's like to walk in the rain for miles. They don't know what it's like to ride a bike.
No, they don't.
Oh, so they don't really appreciate being in the car with AC, because they ain't never rode in a car with no AC. You get what I'm saying? Like did you ride on the back of a pickup? Yeah, it's like those little things people forget. You don't know how it is to walk in the wintertime. You ever had frostbite? No, I don't know. What is that? It's like, oh wow, you don't.
Yeah, I mean, they don't experience like when I first met the Miss, right? She said, "You have a car?" No, I ain't have no car. She said, "How She ain't asked how I do. I said, "Yo," I said, "They ain't certain things got to get done." I remember I used to. I live in Virginia, almost 13 years, but it gets cold at times. The colds get like maybe like 30, 35 degrees. I had to wait for the bus. Maybe bundle up because I was born and raised in New York, so I know the climate of that. So, but I take the bus and everything. But you gotta show how you get home. I'll find one way to get home. Sometimes I don't have no cab money to get home. Need my shopping cart. Gotta use that. But see, I was trained when I was very, very young, and I experienced it very young. So when people say, "Oh, you see, like you making it easy," it's not easy. It's not easy when you have to go outside when you don't feel good, and then do certain things to have nourishment in your in where you live at. Yeah. It's not easy. You have to go shopping, come back to those elements, and wait on the bus. Not talking about you have to deal with the people because you have to be by yourself. And again, shout out to the Miss. She be looking out for me, so I'm not. I want to acknowledge that, but I'm talking about so being I live by myself. There's a lot of things. As a black man, you know what I'm talking about. I hope I live long enough that I can put my key. Not even put my key in the door. Get off the bus, walk. To get where I live at least. And so all this thing, all this is really happening in the mindset, but I gotta find a way to get things done. And so it helps shape you to survive. And then but see, when I go more what you're saying, but see, there's a lot of people out there. There's some people of our people, they see, look, it's like, son, like, why are you doing that for?
We just miss out on a lot, man. People miss out on the college experience. People miss out on the military experience. I'm gonna have to go in a second. I figured that. I'm getting as my wife coming in, but
Oh, okay.
people miss out on the military experience. That's my dog. He start crying, but
Gotcha. You need to get on.
yeah. I'm gonna have to get out of here because
Okay,
he finna
so
upset.
make it. So might probably do a part 2. Make your last remarks, and then this one unprecedented that be probably that had to be a part 2 of this chop up because we got some things we got to cover. So make your last remarks.
Man, when we get to part 2, we're gonna talk about some other things because like that latchkey kid thing is just it's not what we are anymore. We need some of that stuff. We need the new stuff we got, but we need to keep some of the old stuff too.
Yeah, so this unprecedented. I never did part 2 of any chop ups, but this has to be part 2. And also so you have to let me know, brother, when's a good time we can do the part 2 because there's a quite few stuff that we got to uncover and stuff. And I want to respect your time, family and stuff. And I just want to thank you to take the time to do the chopper with me. And this been great,
I've been
and
enjoying
I
this.
appreciate that.
Yeah, I've been enjoying myself. And thank you for like. I'm glad we can finally hook up. Yeah.
Yeah, finally. And so what I'm gonna do, I don't know I'm gonna do it today because I got me and the miss. We're gonna do some later on, but I'm gonna reach out to you so hopefully before the week is out because I want to do the underrated men's talk, and we're gonna like take certain stuff where we talk from here, and then also I want you to get into on other stuff too. And then definitely we gotta talk about do a part 2 to this because we got to come back part 2 because there's a whole lot of stuff that we gotta unpack, and we just getting started and stuff.
I'm down. I'm down.
And just so people on L.A.R channel, it's going to be a part 2. So I hope that y'all go check this out, get some likes on that. Hope y'all can come by and stuff, but it's going to be a part 2. It has to be a part 2. And so I want to thank you, brother. Thank you so much. To make time for me to come in and we finally meet up, and I just want to let you know, salute to you and your family, and tell them say hi for me, and thanks again. It's just been it been an honor. It been an honor to finally have you to come to the channel.
That's a two-way street, fam. I appreciate you.
Thank you. So that's it. So any more last remarks, or that's it before we close it out?
No, I'm gonna be back, y'all. That's what I'm gonna let y'all know. I'm gonna be back.
Yeah, he gonna be back. He definitely gonna be. What I'm probably gonna do before we get off, I'm probably gonna talk about let's get the part 2 out. But along the way, it's going to be underrated men's talk. We gotta plan that because he's gonna be underrated men's talk. He's gonna be the main guest. I'm just letting you know right now. It's gonna be other men's come on a, but he's gonna be the main guest because there's certain things. There's quite a few things and stuff that but we're gonna definitely gonna do, and then hopefully I'm gonna be on with him one day in the near future. So we gonna get things going. So thank you, my brother. As always, I salute to you and keep on doing what you gotta do. And I'm just letting you know, maybe no brother had to tell you, but I need you in this space. And I need you to keep on. And then you got a brother right here that right beside your side to fight.
Man, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate that. Thank you. And keep
Fight.
moving
Wherever it
forward.
is, fight. Huh?
Yeah, keep moving forward. Do the same thing. Keep moving forward.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I really appreciate that. Thank you. I
You
have
got
a
it.
great. This is gonna be a great day. I said I could say, listen, brother L.A.R had chopped it up with me on here. I got it locked down, and it's going to be a part 2.
For
Understand
sure.
that. For sure. Thank you so much, brother. Yeah, have a good day. Everybody else have a blessed day. Make sure the crazies is out there. We approaching the holiday season. Protect yourself. If you like live by myself, protect yourself. If you live in a group, protect your family because the crazies out there and they don't care. We know how the climate of America is right now. Take extra safety precaution.
Yes.
Please, wherever you do, take it. Get them. They hit you with some jibs. Take it. Please. Because now we see things how it's going backwards and stuff like that. So thank you. Brother L.A.R, I'm going to reach out to you soon. All right?
All right, I got you.
Okay. And you have a blessed day. Thanks
Man.
again. Appreciate you.
Peace, everybody.
Thanks.